Yo, it's Happy. Been a while, I know. Sorry about that. I haven't forgotten. I just haven't had anything to speak about, or that I felt was of value to upload, to be honest. Then again, maybe that's just an excuse for being lazy or worried about what I was uploading. Speaking honest, even talking into this mic again feels a bit weird. As ever, I truly appreciate the support all of my previous videos, even if they were months ago. Especially considering I was trying something new with the Rust stuff. Also, hello Yap guys. It's been a long time, I know. I never forgot any of you. I was just heavy addicted to Rust, and as said, I didn't feel like I had anything to yap about. And, well, that's honestly how this series is. I've spoken about it before, but I'm still what I and many others consider young. My early 20s. But this comes in almost lack of topics to fully dig into without just regurgitating something prior mentioned in another video. Quickly though, I'd just like to say thank you for all the support. Obviously, as said, I haven't uploaded in a very long time, but still the channel has managed to surpass requirements for monetization, which is insane to me, as I just started uploading videos, as I simply enjoy being creative. And it appears some people found my creativity entertaining, so truly, thank you all. No promises on a better upload schedule though, sorry. Now, for better or for worse, there has been some new challenges and tasks to be navigated around personally in my life. And without going into what the whole video subject is, I guess it's some form of announcement that needs to be had, but the channel's mascot, my pupper, has unfortunately passed away this year at 18 years old. She was a perfect companion to me and all of my family. Truly. Now with that obvious heartache, I found myself in an uncomfortable place or discomforting place mentally. And as much of this comes from the obvious grief from the loss of someone close, not to mention losing my grandfather a week after, I feel as if it's only enhanced the amount of discomforting thoughts about my future and past, something that ultimately is as much in my control as it is out. Of course it's in my control in the sense of if someone is going to get up and get after something, it has to be me. But it's not in a sense of everything in life happens, it's all just spurs. I mean, as I'm writing this script, it was a week ago that I thought I should make something and post it. Likewise with the week before that. But for some reason, just by the acts of the world, inevitably, this is the week that I've done that. And this was me finally getting past one of my many discomforts. Well, momentarily getting past it. To be honest, a lot of my momentary bursts to get past the discomfort fade as quick as they arrive. Sometimes I have 2 or 3 hours of, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. But when it's actually go time, the discomfort reawakens, the worry of judgment rises, and then the confidence behind the idea fades, and the judgment and discomfort rise to the top, fading all hope of whatever was potentially going to happen in that time to vanish. Although the discomfort and judgment gears must come from somewhere, and in all honesty, my main problem I feel that feeds into both is the fear of failure, which partners with judgment and confidence rather well. To be honest, it's not that surprising of a combination. I mean, if you fail, people pass a judgment. That's not to imply that you don't get judged when you succeed. Of course you do. Humans love to pass judgment. But if you fail, the way the judgment leans to the negative, and as much as I've spoken about it often, nobody is perfect, that does still have a control on me to some degree. I don't know if the control is due to other issues, as said, maybe it's lack of self-worth, self-confidence, but I can also only imagine that these things will be even more heightened in a state of grieving. This, however, does create a discomfort that makes me stuck, and usually my action to fight it is the same as I'd imagine a lot of people's. I mean, I don't see myself as unique. My way to fight discomfort is YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, TikToks, with the occasional bit of touching grass with a wok. It's even gotten to a point where I realise that I'm watching these stupid little videos on YouTube or Instagram to escape the fact that my mind is trying to tell me something unfortunately that is hard to hear. Hence the desire for my brain to escape. Its desire to latch onto anything that could possibly steal my attention from the painful thing that my brain is telling me about. So recently, after sitting in this limbo, I decided to sit and force myself to really hear myself out. Almost have a back and forth with myself in my head, which sounds actually insane to say, but yeah, a back and forth with myself. Kind of asking, why are you saying that? And why is it such a painful thing to hear that you had to go and find some form of escapism to get relief? Now, the more I've sat in these, the more I'm realizing, at least for myself, it's just things that I'm struggling to accept. Whether it's because I don't want to accept it, or I didn't realize my problem was with accepting it, then again, that's a whole different box of frogs. But what I'm trying to say is the discomfort that I was finding short-term ease from really just needed to be sat in for a little for it to eventually give my life ease in the long term. One thing I can definitely say that has and is a continuous discomfort and correlates to YouTube is confidence, as confidence leads to content. When I say content, I don't mean the ideas behind content. I actually feel like I come up with a lot of good ideas for content on a pretty frequent basis. My problem is that I want to do all these videos ideas, and there really isn't many of them that stay on the same genre or topic. And in a true sense of a YouTuber, like they were in the golden age when YouTube wasn't a legit entertainment source, that would be no problem. What you want to do, you should do. And that's the problem nowadays. YouTube has this kind of structuring system for future success, and it's a weird one. From my POV, and maybe it's just my way of analytical braining it, I see it as YouTube requiring you to pigeonhole yourself initially. One game, one idea. Changing it slightly in the future. For example, my yapping series, and then when things started to go well in that field, I stayed in the same game but did a different idea with the Dark Souls Challenges videos. This was good, and everything was moving as I would hope it would. Obviously, I was incredibly blessed by the fact that one of my first rants got so much love. Thank you again, if you're somebody that's been watching since that. You lit the fire in me with the fuel from that video. But like any chronic thinker who is also a gamer, I didn't just play Dark Souls. My roots are competitive FPS games. I mean, my first videos on this channel, shorts or long form, are Counter-Strike, the most competitive FPS of all competitive FPSs, the like godfather of them. And after finding another competitive FPS game to fall in love with, my chronic thinking took me to doing content on that game. And as soon as I uploaded a couple videos and they did well, I truly believed myself to be screwed. If I played anything new or did anything I did before, and once again, this is that discomfort. So I sat in it and I had those thoughts again. And then I realized again that this is YouTube, this is my creative output, it's how I can release creative energy, that no matter what I upload, as long as it's of good quality, which I believe I can do, then people will watch. And there is something so rewarding about imagining someone finding joy or entertainment from something that I have created, as maybe self-centered or egotistical that sounds. Although I don't even know if it does truly, or if it's just me worrying myself. Regardless, it has been another situation where I just sat in the discomfort I had for a while, instead of just fleeing from it like some wild low-level Pokemon when you're at endgame. And once again, I have reaped the benefit of it. Now, the need for that to be, I guess, added onto this video, or into this video, although I do think it fits the topic, is maybe more for the sake of myself. Letting myself know that I put it out there that I want to be as creative as possible and do what I deem enjoyable for myself, and to upload what I deem enjoyable for myself. And regardless of if you watch this far into the video or if you don't watch this far into the video, I've put it out there, and I know from my own sanity that it's been explained. With that random self-explaining out of the way, I want to say thank you again for listening to me ramble about the world from my perspective. I hope you get something out of it, and it's not just gibberish, as it has been a hot minute since I've done a waffle. There might be another one in the future. As mentioned, there's been a couple things that have been happening, but I can give you no time limit on that or time schedule. I hope you understand this. Regardless, much love guys, and stay safe all.